So, Nick, we all know that in corporate America, people promote people that they know, like, and trust. And as a manager or senior manager, that makes all the elevator speech, right? The 1 to 2 minutes that you inevitably, get stuck with the leader in the elevator, all the more important because otherwise you won't have that much exposure to the senior leaders that is 3, 4 levels above you. So, to the people that is new to the corporate world or somebody that has not think of their career progression, in this way, why is that 1 to 2 minutes of the elevator time with senior leaders so important?
Why is that important? Because the time is scarce. You do not have a lot of opportunities or extended periods of time at which to make an impression with somebody who is far enough away on the ladder that they're not part of your day-to-day life. I mean, even someone who's lateral, but especially somebody who has a lot of authority and someone who's working on a wide variety of subjects, overseeing a lot of subjects. So scarcity is the key driver to why an elevator pitch is important.
So, in terms of the elevator pitch, what is the most effective way to structure it? What should that 1 to 2 minutes the goal should be?
The goal should be to, number one, get them to like you. Number two, view you as someone who is competent and aligned with their own priorities. And number three, get a future interaction from them, something to follow up on, not just, hi, yeah, the weather's nice. Um, I'm in a location where the weather is always nice, so that would not be very helpful.
So how do you get a senior leaders or, in that matter, stranger or people that doesn't know you very well to like you in a short amount of time?
That's an excellent question. I'm working on it myself. But again, this is an issue where you can pick a script, you can pick a template. What matters is that you achieve those three primary goals. I like using Cialdini for a lot of my interaction frameworks. So he wrote a book called Influence, which he used, or which he wrote by looking at a lot of how salesmanship works. And a lot of the principles that he discuss are very relevant in an elevator pitch. So, for example, getting someone to like you, meaning like you as a person and feel that you like them as well. Now, I'm not saying to fake it. I'm saying you find a genuine interest between two people, knowing that their time is scarce and respecting it. And number two, showing that you have a genuine interest in the things that they're interested in. So, just an aside, hey, for example, I saw this talk that you gave at so and so on this subject. All right, there. You've immediately shortcutted to I like the things that you like, and I'm paying attention to them. Number two, competence and alignment, right? This is the next follow-up. Uh, do we have reciprocity, meaning are we actually sharing an interest? And do I have what Cialdini would call authority and social proof, meaning I can back up my claim. So I like this topic that you're discussing. My team or this team I'm working with is working on the very same issue. And we've found XYZ, right? Whatever metrics that you were talking about, we're finding a similar issue that we're dealing with. Unity is another issue that Cialdini is is one of his principles, meaning we both have shared goals. The things that are important to you are important to me as well. We're trying to solve X and X and X. I've written, fast forwarding to future interaction, right? Commitment. So a salesman's always interested in commitment. Cialdini's always trying to find an opportunity to commit to a future action. I've written a white paper on the very subject that you're talking about and how my team is addressing it. I would like to send it to you. Um, Maybe we can follow up and discuss it at a future time. 30 seconds. You've shown, number one, you're interested in them. You like the things they like. We have a shared interest. Uh, I know what I'm talking about. I'm working on similar problems. So our goals are aligned. Hey, here's what I'm working on. Let's commit to discussing it further.
That
It's a
can
very
easily be
simple
accomplished
it's a
in one to
very
two
simple
minutes.
framework,
Yes.
right? We're using Cialdini as a framework for how to develop this pitch.
So, in terms of the tactics, right? In order to get in the elevator pitch to get your senior leaders to know you, like you, trust you, there's commonly two approaches or tactics. The first one is generate common interests. Don't talk anything about work related, but instead focus on the leader's personality. Hey, I noticed that you love swim. You participate in marathon running. Let's spend the next 2 minutes talk about our shared interest to get to know you as a person. The other approach is the complete opposite, which is, hey, leader, I know that the work priority is XYZ. Let me give you a situation complication resolution in the 2 minutes time to really highlight what I have been working on in terms of the work priority. So one is personal, the other one is completely work focused. Which one of the tactics do you think is more effective in accomplish the goal and why?
Wouldn't it really depend on the person that you're talking to? Like, I'm making the assumption that I know everybody, at least superficially, in my office. You may not. Uh, the shared social or shared common hobby interest might be a good way just to say hello. Um, Obviously, that's not the way that I do it. Again, because I know most of the people that I work with. I've been working with them for years. But again, some people prefer to sit down and spend, let's say in a meeting, 1 or 2 minutes just to talk about the things that interest them on the family side so that, number one, they can feel comfortable with you as a person. And that's perfectly okay. In an elevator speech, it better be 5 seconds. But you're absolutely right. People do appreciate being personal. Not intimate, but personal.
So on a slight tangent, right? You are a new person in the organization. You want your leaders to get to know you. You want to know this leader by, understand and uncover some common ground, both in terms of personal interest and or, work related priority. What is the best way to go about, learning about the leaders in terms of their styles as well as their preferred treatment of communication and dealing with people?
You have to observe them, number one. Going back to another person, Dale Carnegie, somewhat you're going to have to mirror people's behavior. You treat people the way that they want to be treated. What's the best way to really uh, know that? By observing how they treat people that are around them. I'm not saying the negative things, I'm talking about the positive things. One of my shortcomings is sports. I know nothing about sports, but I can at least accept and appreciate that people have a genuine interest or passion about them. So when I listen and I observe, I understand these are the things that are important. I can ask questions about them as a person who generally wants to understand why it is that you enjoy these things. Um, the gentleman next to me loves Cleveland, all things Cleveland. Or no, sorry, Cincinnati. I've already failed. The Bengals. So I may know nothing about that team or anyone who's on it, but I can at least share in that person's passion by hearing them talk about a game and asking them what they appreciated about it or what a person did that they found so fascinating. And I can actually enjoy learning from them in that brief experience, in that brief interaction. That's okay. And that's also a way to, uh, number one, learn to be comfortable with people and having them learn to be comfortable with you.
So it's interesting that you mentioned mirroring because mirroring is one of the top negotiation tactic, even for the FBI who is trying to negotiating, hostage rescue. So for people who doesn't are not familiar with mirroring, what is mirroring and what is the common technique?
Mirroring is where you're taking the affect of another person and just behaving as if they are. So somebody is getting heightened in terms of emotion. You in turn start getting heightened in your emotion. If someone is being aggressive, you be as aggressive as they are. If someone is being sensitive, caring, nurturing, you provide that affect in your dealings with them as well. Is it copying? No. But what you're trying to do is create an environment that either goes toward a specific outcome. You want this person to be comfortable. This is how they want what they expect, and this is their comfort zone. So you make sure that you provide that. You're in a negotiation. Somebody's being very assertive and aggressive on a certain point. You be assertive and aggressive on that point too, because it prevents them from basically railroading you. Versus, say, a negotiation with a person who you're a partner with and you have repeated consecutive deals with them, you're probably not going to be assertive. They're probably going to come to you as a partner, and you're going to mirror that behavior in those interactions, because you're not just looking at that particular negotiating framework, you're looking at the next one and the one after that. So mirroring is a great way to find a comfortable spot for the situation you're in where you can actually achieve meaningful results with a person.
And it's also a great way to signaling to the other party that, hey, I am just like you in certain
Yes.
senses. So, on the subject of getting people to know you, like you, and trust you, one of the things that I always struggle is you get into the elevator. The default response is, hey, how are you? Nice weather, like what you said. But that is the opposite of what we want to do, because you puts the leader's mind into autopilot. And once the mind is in autopilot, it's extremely hard to refocus and then to pay attention for the next, 36, 90 seconds. So the question is, how do you get over the awkwardness of that initial period when after you say hi, and then how do you find a meaningful topic after that, initial hi, to continue on with the conversation?
So let's say you're starting from scratch and you don't know, or at best, you know the person's name and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're working this, don't do it in an elevator. As much as we call it the elevator pitch, that's a timing issue, not a location. One of the things that I will do is if I see a person walking in a hall, um, feel free to walk with them on a spare 30 seconds, at which hopefully they're not going to something critical and important and they're consumed with. And just walk with them until the next turn, just to, number one, say something that you have a common shared experience with. Again, not just, hey, what's the weather, but hey, I heard you talking about X, or I heard you're working on Y, right? Something specific, something shared, right? Not, oh, the weather's good, or oh, my, are you into biking? I'm into biking as well. No, keep it relatively topical and relevant to why you're in that space at the time. And the walking gives that person an opportunity to, number one, it's not necessarily time that you're taking away from them when they were working on something else, where you walk into their office and say, I need your attention right now. This is time that is being used in between two other things. It's also something that they can easily pivot away from, because I'm on my way to this. What do you need? Right? It gives them a safe space to say, I have other things to focus on at the other time, but another time might be better. Versus an elevator where it's already awkward getting in with some. I just went through it this morning. Everyone knew each other, but I didn't know they knew a third person, and then they start talking about me.
That is awkward.
Yeah. And I go, oh, both of you know me. Both of you have worked with me before. I didn't know that you two knew each other, and now I got to watch what I say about you two. But the other thing is, people are in the elevator. They're already uncomfortable. They're already in a box. You're gonna turn around and put them in a corner and say, put your phone down for a second. I know you're pretending to look at it so you don't have to talk to me, but I really want to talk to you right now. Don't do that. Hallways are better.
All good tips. So today we talk about why is it important to get exposure with the senior leadership in the elevator pitch in that 30 to 90-second period. What are the common tactics and what is the potential approach in dealing with the situation? So, what is the one key takeaway that you want the audience to learn from our conversation?
First, they need to like you. You need to be likable. As you can see from the past 10 minutes, I'm still working on that. They need to believe that you're competent and that you're working towards the same goal. And last, you need to have a commitment for a follow-up. At the very least, those three components should be part of how you develop your elevator speech.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Very